Oh my god, there's so many enemies, I can't even, Why are you jumping? Guy needs from the back. To be honest, I don't even need expedite suffering. It's just, it feels nice to get the big damage number. Here, so this is without expedite suffering. You can just mow them down. Ditch. Double kill. What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video coming at you with a Saryn build. Now, this build is so easy to use. Like, you'd have to be really bad at video games or completely new to not understand how this build works. It requires three things: the Warframe, Saryn, a utility weapon, and a melee. There are a few different things with this build. It is not designed around all game modes. It is primarily focused on disruption, but you can change out 2 mods and it can be used in any other content. That's how versatile it is. It is so good, I didn't even have to rely on using my spores, even though spores is really damn powerful, but of course there was no need to in this scenario. All I used was Toxic Lash 90% of the time, and sometimes here and there, just to add a bit more damage, I used Expedite Suffering. What's so powerful about Toxic Lash is that it coats your weapons with toxin damage. It is a separate instance of toxin damage that scales off power strength, your weapon's damage, the toxin elemental mod on your weapon, and the damage is multiplied with faction damage. What Expedite Suffering does, it takes all the stacks of bleeds and toxin and combine them into one single tick with all the damage combined and multiplied in a single instance to help you do a burst of damage. With the recent gun craze and AoE meta with Brahma and Tsar, it looks like people forgotten how powerful melees are. So make sure you have your third ability active, Toxic Lash. You can prime enemies to get the viral stacks and just melee them down. Here I'm using the Nami Skyla, which is one of the best, if not the best, dual swords currently. Using the Swirling Tiger stance, we get a lot of multi-procs. And you can see we're shredding through these enemies. This can shred really damn good. Okay, there are a few things to note here. I am using a Decaying Dragon Key. This is to lower my shield value, so I can regenerate my shields faster. And for even more added defenses, I am also using Vazarin with Protective Dash. And on top of that, I also have Magus Lockdown. This allows me to lock down enemies. This tethers a certain amount of enemies. And my primary lockdown target will be the Demolus. Especially after you primed it, you can lock it down and mow it down. Or you can lock it down, prime it, and kill it. Okay, taking a look at the Saryn build. In the aura, I have growing power for that 25% power strength to help boost my ability. And since we're playing Saryn, we're going to be proccing a lot of status effects to help trigger this aura. Prime Sure-Footed. If you do not have this, use Handspring. Great alternative in the meantime. Range at 145% with just Stretch. This is only mostly used for Molt. It's really good to give you that little boost in sprint speed, move the enemy's aggro away from you, and get shields back. Especially if you have mods like Augur Set or Brief Respite, paired up with a Decaying Dragon Key to lower your shield value, so you can get their shields back up in an instant. Power Strength, 168%, we're just missing that 1%, unfortunately. This is with Augur Secrets and Intensify, and we're getting 25% more from Growing Power. This is all to help boost Toxic Lash and Expedite Suffering. Natural Talent for that casting speed. We gotta cast things really fast. Our main source of energy income is not going to be from Arcane Energize. You see here, we do not even have Arcane Energize. We're running really cheap arcanes here. It's going to be Prime Flow and Equilibrium, large energy pool, and converting health orbs into energy, energy into health orbs. But since we're always going to be topped up with health, we're going to get energy back. How does Equilibrium proc? It's going to be with our synth mods on our Panzer Vulpaphyla. Bigger swap for the quick swap speed, and swapping between your gun and melee will also give you a boost in damage. Rolling guard for the 3 seconds of vulnerability and cleansing you of status effects. Arcade nullifier for that 102% magnetic status effects. Resistance. The status effect, not the damage. You will still take magnetic damage, but this helps you resist all that weirdness that you get from a magnetic status effect. And since it's a Corpus disruption, we're going to have a lot of magnetic anomalies and random things proccing magnetic on us. Arcane Strike for the attack speed. Attack speed is also a DPS increase with melee. Hit things faster, you're going to be dealing more and more damage. Here I have a miter. You don't really need to have a miter, but it's good to have one if you want to pop nullifier bubbles really quickly. It has the Dexterity Arcane and the Augment Neutralizing Justice to help instantly pop nullifier bubbles. Amalgam Serration for that sprint speed utility, and as much multi-shot as you can put on, fire rate, whatever you want. It's a basic build. You don't need anything special with this. And my Epitaph Primer. This is going to help me proc status effects, so I am able to do more damage with condition overload on my melee. Modded for viral and heat. It will force proc cold and blast, so that's additional status effects right there. The cold is going to help slow down enemies, especially the Demolist as it approaches the conduit. Able to slow it down, lock it down, and with those cold procs, all of its actions are slowed, so it's going to take time to get out of the stunned state from Magus Lockdown. And it also has the Dexterity Arcane. The 2 Dexterity Arcanes are there for the combo duration, since I won't be running Naramon. And you don't need to nowadays. You can run whatever focus school you want if you ran with Naramon. And now moving on to the Nami Skyla build. With the 2 Dexterity Arcanes, I have 20 seconds of combo duration. Using Swirling Tiger's Stance, amazing for those multi-procs. Really quick, high damage. Condition Overload for the base damage multiplier with each unique status effect applied on the target. Blood Rush for the crit chance, Reach for the range, Faction Mod to multiply my initial hit and every DOT. Prime Fever Strike, since we're facing Corpus, we want that crazy Toxin damage. And this is also going to help boost Toxic Lash's damage. Weeping Wounds for the status effect increase, crit damage from Organ Shatter, and even more crit damage and crit chance from Gladiator Might. This is where you usually replace it with a Riven. And the Panzer Vulpaphyla, the straightforward day-to-day build as always. Nothing has changed from this little kitty right here. And these are the mods that are going to help you out with Equilibrium to help you get that energy. Now the build is very straightforward. You can engage enemies, pop your molds, prime them. If you want to use spores, you can, but I did not use any spores. See how enemies' actions are slowed down because of the cold procs? Yes. And they're locked down. And we have all of those iframes from Rolling Guard, our molds, Vazarin, and shield gating. Alright folks, that has been it from this video. And if you did enjoy and learn something, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.